Hi, and welcome to this short webinar. We are very much looking forward, and I can tell you this is live. And the reason why I can tell you that is normally, my name is Jacob. I am the producer of the webinars that we hold here. In front of me, we have Jacob. And right now, we're a bit confused as to whether our current producer can actually see the camera. So I'll just go help, and that's how we're going to showcase that this is live.
Yes. I hope this will be so authentic that we're crushing the viewing numbers. Hopefully, let's see. I mean, what could possibly go wrong?
It is authentic, right? That's how we showcased it just now.
Yes.
We were talking about having a newspaper hanging here so people could see the date and stuff like that.
Yeah.
We don't need that anymore.
No.
This is
live.
live.
This is live.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, as said, my name is Jacob. I am the content creator and product specialist here at SynergyXR, or maybe rather a content creator and not the. And in front of me, I have...
Well, another Jacob, usually referred to as Jake, because we have actually two more Jacobs at least. Yeah, it's very confusing. I'm Chief Sales Officer here at SynergyXR. I have been working with sales and marketing my entire life. Joined the company back in February. Have known the founders of the company for a long time. Worked with them over the last 3-4 years, actually. And now the timing was right for me to do a change and to join into this great technology that we're looking into. And I mean, it's the future of the internet, so what's not to be excited about?
Yeah, Web 3.0, here we go.
Yes.
And one of the things that we're going to talk about today is, of course, our platform, SynergyXR.
Yes.
This is a sneak peek of that. So if you guys don't feel like hearing on a sales rhythm, you've joined the wrong webinar. Yeah. Is what we're doing.
Exit right now.
Exactly. But let's also talk a little bit about the whole idea of what we're doing. We're starting a webinar series that we're going to run live.
Yeah.
It's because we want to showcase the platform.
Yeah.
But not everything.
No, so SynergyXR is a platform that I usually refer to it as a Swiss Army knife with a lot of moving parts and different functionalities. And not everybody needs all functionality. So let's dive into at least one topic on each webinar and dive into that.
And today we've chosen the webinar because we haven't held any. So if you guys have any feedback, anything you want us to talk about, feel free to write it in the chat and we'll take that up. But today we've chosen, and it's how you can bring the real into the digital.
Yes.
Am I right?
Correct. And back into the real.
And back into the real.
Yeah. So
yeah. Oh, yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, that's going to be fun.
Yeah.
So could you please just talk me through what is it exactly we're doing in other terms than bringing the real into the digital?
Yeah. Okay, so I'm going to take one more step back, and then I hopefully we'll get at a point where I see some clarification in your eyes. Hopefully also out there. Let's see. So when we talk about the metaverse, which is a widely used term and it covers a lot of different things, I mean, to me, it's simply the new version of the internet, where instead of the old version, we had like a window pane that we could look through it, see some things on the other side. With the new version of the internet, we can actually poke our heads through this window pane and be fully immersed, or we can actually extract things from the internet and put them in real life. Or we can take something real from the real world and put that into the digital world.
And that's where we are today.
That's where we want to start today. So, and hopefully we'll get to showcase a lot of other things as well. We'll see. So we wanted to mimic this as close to a normal sales meeting that we have like 10s, 20s of every day on the entire team. Yeah. And people tend to be very, that can't be, you're cheating. And so we're doing it live and nothing has been prepared. Like
we've not pre-baked anything.
Nope, we did not. And that's how we do our demos also because we got to acknowledge that it's an immature market and not everybody knows exactly what they're using the XR technology or the new metaverse or the new version of the internet for. So we need to kind of show them a variety of the different use cases. And that's
one could say that just saying XR might throw somebody off the wagon there and be like, what is this?
Yeah, Correct. I've been doing my own fair share of trying to explaining what this new job that I had for the last 6, 7, 8 months, and I see people kind of doze off, and I see that tired look in their eyes when I start talking about how to immerse yourself into a virtual reality, and Jesus, now he's starting again, and then I show it, and then okay, now I see that's smart, and I could use this for that, and I hear a lot of crazy ideas on new use cases.
And we're going to talk about that once we go through the slides, how everything is changing and coming along right now.
Yes.
But it's also important here to say that when we say XR, it's extended realities, and we have we have a tendency to talk a lot about virtual reality.
Yes.
Because the person that coined the metaverse, the new internet, is also a creator of a fairly large company that makes VR.
Yes.
But we're more than that.
Yes.
So that's actually what we're going to show today. But before we do that, let's go into the slides.
Exactly, yeah, because what we want to do at each sales meeting is to kind of set the scene for why it's important to even think about new technology. So the one thing that we usually open up with is a quick talk about how the world we live in is rapidly changing. And if you don't adapt to that, then you may become a dinosaur that gets hit by a meteor or something. So everybody can agree that hey, how we work is changing. Yeah. So we usually dive into 3 different areas where we want to talk a little bit about the where we work is changing, the how we work, and the why we work. And I mean, you can say a lot about the pandemic. I think we should dedicate a podcast entirely for that, or perhaps someone already did that. Let's not go down that road, but it did teach us that we must adapt quickly, and it also was an eye-opener in terms of that we need to be able to work from remote because all of a sudden something happens and we need to adapt. And I mean, you can say a lot about humans too, but we're really good at adapting.
Yeah, but actually, of course, it was annoying being on Zoom all of a sudden for a while. Yeah. But that's what we're changing to. Then we didn't say, let's never do that again. We said, how can we do it better?
Yes. Yeah.
And that's where we're landing right now.
Yeah, for sure. And also I see that especially younger generations, they don't want to get a job and then be at that same position for 25 years or 30 years and go to the same office every day. They want to explore the world. They want to travel. They want to work from remote. They want to travel to a nice island somewhere warm, at least warmer than Denmark, and try to work from there. And hey, we can actually enable that. It's not a barrier by no means.
Oh, true.
Another thing is the how we work. I mean, yes, like you just said, with the Zooms and Teams meeting, it gets us some of the way. Like we talked about the facial expressions within VR, that's going to be a huge game changer to actually have meetings in VR. Yeah. When you can see, and actually that's one of the things that I really missed from Zoom and Teams meeting. We don't have eye contact. I look at a screen or I look at a camera and you look at a screen. So you don't see my eyes, I don't see your eyes. And even those micro movements in my eyes, you don't get them. And there's so much hidden communication in that. I'm not saying we can totally mimic that in VR in 2 months, but I think we're getting closer. And Moore's Law is working on our side. So there's so much interesting things coming within a very near future with that. And then, of course, ultimately, we want to talk a little bit about why we work. I mean, people need a purpose. Why am I putting a bolt on this wind turbine wing? Hey, you're actually part of saving the planet. You're doing something great. You're part of a greater good. And the ability to see that bigger picture from an employee standpoint, that's super important. Yeah. And also, like, taking care of the planet goes without saying. Hey,
we're all working to seek meaning now. Yes. Like, it needs to make sense to us.
Exactly.
And one could say that comes about with this.
It does.
How do we make sense of the broader picture?
Yeah. At least that's some of our existing customers. They use this to actually introduce new employees to that bigger picture. That could be water pumps. Why am I putting together this pump? Hey, you're part of an ecosystem that puts water from very deep up to actually being able to drink it. And when you get that big picture, you're not just it's like the good old story about the guy who's chiseling stone, and he's doing that all day, and then his neighbor is also chiseling stone. But hey, I'm not chiseling stone. I'm building a cathedral.
Yeah.
So he sees this bigger picture and has a completely different attitude to what's working, and we can see that the technology we're enabling, that's also part of putting that in the hands of people.
Cool.
So yeah, so that's why we're doing this. One more thing that we want to just really quickly address, that the companies who are not like embracing new technology, they might have tendency to go obsolete in worst case. I mean, we all know. So this slide, just real quick, in the last 20 years, 52% of the Fortune 500 companies have disappeared. So we see that older companies that are not embracing new technology, not looking into thinking innovative, they have a tendency to become taken over by newer companies.
They risk going into oblivion all of a sudden.
For sure.
One could also say that it's important to start adapting this. It might not have the perfect fit just yet with these technologies, but your organization needs to start thinking, where should this have a place?
Correct. So we usually, this is just a bunch of, we'll share this in the comments. Everybody knows what Kodak said and the IBM, hey, nobody needs a computer. So this is just a bunch of quotes that
2 years from now, spam will be solved.
Yeah.
Good going, Bill Gates.
Yes. Yeah. We're not quite there yet. At least not the last time I looked in my spam folder. Nope. So just real quick, this is, and I really like to just dumb it down. We're talking about the next evolution of long-term communication. And we started with smoke signals, went over to the telegraph. Actually, the first phone call was someone who checked if the telegram was arrived. And then we had the evolution of the internet back in the early 70s and 80s. We had smartphones and tablets, and now we're looking into extended reality. And I think you already said that we're talking about augmented reality, virtual reality, and mixed reality when we talk about this umbrella term.
And we already have some webinars talking to these points. Yes. So if you're interested in learning more about how the metaverse can be understood into this spectrum, going from augmented into mixed into virtual reality, we're just throwing words out there, I know. Then my colleague Corey did a great webinar with Jake, and several webinars where this has been explained. You can find that on our webpage or our YouTube channel, whatever fits. But should we go into the nitty-gritty of this?
I think we should.
And that means we actually need to invite in another person.
Yes. So actually, we did a little pre-baking. So I invited in the first. Actually, let's switch to Torben. Torben, are you still with us? Torben, are you there, my friend?
I think one small issue is your microphone is muted right now.
Oh, that could be.
See, we are live.
We are live. Turn audio on.
Yes.
All right. Hey, Torben, can you hear me, man? Yes. We are so live that I needed to turn on my microphone to make sure that you actually could hear me. But
important.
In case someone missed it, we're live.
Yeah.
And what could possibly go wrong?
What could go wrong in a live setting? And this
hopefully.
is our colleague Torben sitting here in another location.
Yes. He's at another location today, so he wouldn't be here in the studio with us. And Torben is right now, he's pretending to be a customer, and we are having these Teams calls. And I would simply show him how easy it is to, if you don't have access to 3D objects, you can make them yourselves. So
we're done with the slides,
we're done
which
with the
would
slide.
happen in a sales situation, and now we're moving into showing the product.
Yeah. Okay. Of course, we at this point have a conversation with the customer about, hey, what industry are you in? What do you see the future? What's your main challenges and so forth? But since we have a lot of people watching right now, let's skip that part. Hang on. And then I will join this call from my phone. And I'm not texting my daughter or anything. I'm trying to join this call here from my phone so that I can share my screen from my phone and show Torben what's happening here.
And you're using an app.
I'm using
for this when you want to bring in the real world now.
Yes.
But you're probably going to talk about that once you're in
a real
call.
second. Yes.
Yeah.
So I'm joining. I'm adding this device. And it's connecting, and I will try to share my screen so that Torben can see what goes on my on my phone here.
And in the meantime, I just want to choose a color here because we want to show this as live.
Yes.
So this is the object that we're going to scan today, and we want to make it pink. So I'm putting that on here. So when you scan it, there's going to be a pink.
Yeah. Actually, why don't you write something really random, Torben? What should we could have rehearsed this?
We could have rehearsed this. We're promising we're not.
Snowman. All right. Interesting.
Snow. We're gonna do it in 2 words. Snowman.
And okay.
And
cool.
It's right there on the marker. Okay.
Okay. So and you'll be doing. So I'm gonna leave the microphone for a real quick turn here, and I will do a scan. So first, let's. So you don't need a lot of equipment from your phone. I usually tend to use either Scanniverse or Polycam for my favorite scanning tool. Both apps can be downloaded from the App Store. They're not that expensive, and I'm using an iPhone 13 Pro with a LiDAR scanner if I need to scan larger objects, or you can also use a phone only with a camera. But I'm using Scanniverse today, and I want to see. I'm sharing now. I already did some scans.
You've made here.
This is a quick scan that I did of a chair just recently. Let's add a new scan. Let's make it a small object. And now you can actually see inside the room here. Try to...
Yeah, so right now, Jake is just walking around the object, and basically he's taking a lot of photos of the said object. And of course, it catches everything else in the room as well. So you might be able to see our producer Marina at one point. That will be a gift from us to you. The other thing about this is also that you actually have to cut the model down. You'll see what we're doing in a minute. We're just cropping everywhere around because it does get everything around the object. But this is actually how quick we were able to scan this object.
Yep. And so it does all the rendering on the phone. So it needs to add a little texture to the model it just scanned. It needs to kind of mimic the real world and make it look nice and shiny. It goes pretty quick. I mean, we're still reaping the fruits of Moore's law. So by each new iPhone, there's more computing power and everything. So I'm going to save this real quick. I want to give it a name here.
And as mentioned before, I'm on the picture right now.
Yeah, I'm going to cut you out in a moment.
That's nice.
So I want to call this, let's call it a rock. Actually, I want to call it a pink rock.
Oh, yeah.
Because we chose pink.
Yeah.
So, okay.
Okay, so I'm with you so far. You're still in the app.
I'm still in the app. I want to just quickly edit it. And I want to crop it. And again, I'm in sales, so I'm by no means a technical guy, so bear with my limited skills here. But it actually shows that you don't necessarily have to have a super long degree of education to be able to quickly crop a 3D object that you take from the real world and put into the digital world.
So right now you're cutting every angle off, so you're able to rotate the object, and there we go.
So here's my object, but there's no fun in just having an object in an app on a phone. I want to play with it. So I want to share this object, and I want to upload it to my SynergyXR platform so that Torben can join me in a minute and play with this product as well, this object.
So we're in the middle of moving it from the real world. We've now created the object.
Correct.
And now we are starting to put it in the metaverse.
Yep. So I'm choosing my SynergyXR app here. I want to go to my own demo workspace. I want to add a tag since everything is tag-based, so I can easily find it on my phone a little later and clean up after myself. So I added Jake, that's my tag, so I can easily find it. I could add tons of different tags. I could call it a rock or whatever, scanned object.
So that's a way of finding objects within SynergyXR. Once you're in there, you simply just write whatever tag pertains to it. It could have been rock 2022, and you would both find it searching for rock 2022.
So, all right. So I'm going to stay on my phone for a while here. I'm going to find my my Synergy app. It's black, so it's on my black page of black apps. Yes.
That's very coordinated.
I'm that kind of person. So let's just jump to
and what Torben's seeing right now is the exact same thing as we're seeing.
Torben is seeing my screen on the Teams meeting that we're having in the background.
Can you testify to this, Torben? You're seeing the same thing. Yeah, perfect.
Correct.
All right, cool. So here's me. I wanna see. Jake. That's my.
So this is everything you've uploaded, and now that you're writing Jake, it finds everything.
Yeah.
Just to your profile.
Oh, and see what hides down here. A pink rock.
Hey, pink rock.
Let's see if we can put that here. Let's do it a little smaller here. I can put it right here next to.
And this is taking the sum of 5 minutes. 3 minutes.
Yep. So here's a digital version of a physical object that we put back into the real world.
And what you're saying is, does it matter how much time I'm using? Like, we even have the note I wrote. That's actually a pretty good scan you did there.
I completely agree. I'm getting better at this.
And
right.
And how much have you been doing this in order to be able to do a scan like this, upload it this quickly? Are we talking thousands of scans?
No, 20s, 30s.
Okay,
Yes.
so it comes about pretty quick.
Yeah, it's super intuitive, and especially if you are south of 50 years old, it gets probably even quicker. I don't know, perhaps. Okay, so yeah, I think we proved that point that we could take something from the real world, put it into a digital version, and actually reapply it back to the real world in augmented reality.
So this was augmented
still with us?
AR. Yeah.
Yes.
So in the spectrum of XR, we've now used AR. Augmented reality means putting something into the real world, but we can't touch that digital object, but we can see it.
Yeah.
A lot like Pokemon
right.
Go.
Correct. All right. So I think we're back now at the Teams meeting.
Yeah.
And this is where I want to change roles for Torben. So now Torben would be my colleague, which he is in the real world. So that's not too difficult to play that role,
My
I
colleague,
think.
Torben.
Hello, Torben. Yeah.
I can do that.
Cool. So, and again, this is also something we do. So if you start applying your VR gear, then I'll open the SynergyXR app on my Windows computer, because it doesn't necessarily have to be so that you need to go buy a VR headset. So
You can do this from the computer you're sitting with, or you can use the headset here.
Yeah.
So to sum up, the SynergyXR platform doesn't care which device you use. We're device agnostic.
Correct.
And what we're showcasing here is we've just used a cell phone to scan, but also to be in SynergyXR.
Yes.
We're using a PC to host the meeting, and we're having Torben join that meeting using a headset.
Did I just hear our viewer count just plummet? I hope not.
But that's basically what we're doing, right?
Yes.
We're making 3 devices speak together across one platform.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right. And I think actually I do have Synergy open here in the background. But
we always have that on our computers.
yes. So exactly. And let's just go to. So as you can see, this is like a virtual setting. I can move around freely with my keyboard and my arrows. So I want to start a new session here, and I want to invite Torben into that. So I'm going to create a completely new space where I know there's room enough for us to play with that little rock that I just scanned, and perhaps we can add a new object into that room as well.
Make it cozy.
Yes. So the lounge clean. Oh, Synergy. Someone needs to fix that typo. My unmedicated OCD is not doing well with this, but okay. So I'm creating this room, and imagine a blank PowerPoint, or a PowerPoint that has been added a few features and a few smells, and it looks nice. So this is one of these. It's a room for use. Oh, there's Torben already. Hello, Torben. Hello, and I can see you're using your hands. That means that you are using your VR headset. Since I'm on the Windows version, Torben can only see my head or my torso.
Okay. And right now we're both in a Teams meeting, but we're also speaking in SynergyXR. So
Yes.
here comes the product specialist that says your microphone is on in SynergyXR right now.
I should turn this off.
Back to live.
Yeah, back to live.
Okay, this is cool.
Are you okay, Torben? Sorry for
I'm
the
fine.
echo on your end.
All good.
Okay, perfect. So I'm going to join you in this room. This is,
And this is an empty room right now. We
completely
also have
empty.
it with furniture in it, so it depends on what you need.
So I want to bring out the rock that we just scanned, and it should hopefully be somewhere in here on the back end. I'm gonna use my tag that I provided it with, Jake. I'm gonna click here.
So you're searching for all items with the tag.
Everything that I have scanned or uploaded is now in here, and I see to my great relief that there is something called a pink rock. Let's have a look at that. Looks great. I want to place it, and now Torben will be able to see it as well. And perhaps you can just make it a little bigger. Perhaps you can. Yes, thank you very much. And
so Torben, in front of you right now, you simply just see what we have standing physical in our end. Is that correct?
Yeah, and it feels like the real object. I can take it with my hands. I can move the size and turn it and so on. So it's like having this virtual object right in front of me that I can grab it and show it and interact with it.
Yeah.
And what's the fidelity level on this? Can you actually read what's on the side of the rock?
Oh.
Yeah, so I can read this snowman, of course.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But also this one, I can try to get a little bit closer to you.
Yeah.
Can you see this?
Yeah.
So I can read everything. 2000 innovation.
That's cool.
Remote makes yeah, I can read it.
All right, so we talked about, and this is typically in a sales meeting, people would say, yeah, but what's the use for this in a real life setting?
Yeah.
And again, we're only just scratching the surface when it comes to use cases, and we've seen people who have like smaller objects that are of a more technical character, and they need guidance to how to operate this. So they can quickly do a scan, and they can have colleagues join from VR or from, in my case, a Windows computer, and they can have a talk about that object. That is a much more intuitive way of talking about an object than seeing a 2D version through FaceTime or a screen on Teams.
So do we have something we can show that's of a different fidelity?
Yes, I think we have some, and I will find a little well that we did just recently. Again, I'm still on my own, Jake, here, so I think we have it's from a water well that's pumping up groundwater for the use of.
So let me
drinking.
guess. You're saying well and pump.
Uh-huh.
I'm thinking Christian Carlson, one of our great friends here at SynergyXR.
Yes, and he is also being credited on the title of the well. So
Christian Carlson from Grundfos, thanks for applying.
Thanks for
your skills here.
Yes. So let's see what Christian did here, and he actually did a great scan of a well. And again, this could be a technician in the field looking at something that's unfamiliar. He needs to. Oh, Torben, can you? Yes, thank you very much.
Torben gets to move this around as well.
A little bit away.
Thank you. So this is a scan made inside a well, and again, the technician could be inside and needed help from headquarters, or something wasn't working out of the ordinary. So if you keep it still now, and I can actually move in, and I can see some pretty detailed information about this.
And what if you wanted to direct attention to something in here? How would you go about like talking about it? Because I know that Torben, if you have the possibility of seeing everything, could you direct our attention to something on the screen? How would you do that?
From the VR headset, I just use my hands. I just point and say, look at this display.
Yeah.
Or look at this display right over here, like this orange part. And then you can look around on that.
Okay.
So I just point like in real life.
Could you make like if I needed guidance to cut the red wire or blue wire to save the planet? Could you point an arrow or draw something?
Yes. Let me just.
I think we have Torben trying to get into the menu right now, and once he succeeds that, he will get out a pen, because of course we're fishing for something here. We know the product somewhat.
Oh, you can draw in 3D. That's So is there a yellow wire I should? Okay,
Yeah.
Okay, this
So
is.
for moving the environment.
Yeah, I know. So okay, so imagine that very useful use case. You can actually get guidance from very far away, and you can do a scan of whatever situation you're in. It could be a very remote area, and this is one of the use cases we see often, where experts can be on a centralized location, and they can have decentralized, not experts, but people who can operate the equipment and guide them on how to fix problems quickly.
So you can have collegial help no matter where you are, basically.
Yes.
Remote support, we're talking here. And just to sum it up, this is objects we've scanned. If you guys have an interest in it out there, we could do a short webinar on scanning something else. We could do environments.
We could. We should.
Yeah.
We should do an environment scan next time.
Yeah,
Actually, I just peeked at the clock. We're pushing 31 minutes, and I think we're...
So let's start counting down here to the end. So what we've seen today is putting the real world into the digital world,
and back.
and putting then the real world back into the real world, and then creating a totally digital universe where our colleague Torben had the possibility of meeting up with us, standing inside the real world in virtual reality. If this was hard to comprehend, and I believe that it could be sure to check out our webinars, both on the metaverse and on how businesses are already using this. They're all available on our webpage and on our YouTube channel. But I think, Jacob, should we just round off here and say until next time?
I think, and Torben, thanks very much for joining us. You did a great job, by the way.
Yeah, it was a pleasure.
I want to say you rock.
Yeah. Pink rock.
Pink rock.
Thank you, Torben.
Thanks.
And thanks for watching out there. I'll catch you in the next webinar.
Yes, that was fun.
That was different and fun. Let's do that again.
Yeah, let's